My boyfriend looked me dead in the eye and told me that my colleague is the only perfect 10 out of 10 he knows, so now I have to spend it every day at work envying her. For background, James and I met at uni during our bachelor's degree. He was in a relationship with someone else until the last year, and we started dating about 6 months after that. I have never been this happy in a relationship before, and we're on the same page about everything regarding future plans. I honestly feel like I'm behaving super silly, but given how long it's been, I think I need some outside perspective. This conversation happened almost 2 years ago. At the time, we weren't official yet, but had been dating for a while and were on our first vacation together. We were talking about looks in general, and as a game, he asked me to rate myself on a scale from 1 to 10, and I in turn asked him back. Then he asked who I thought was a 10. I've always thought that the only people who are 10s are celebrities, because they get paid to look good plus photoshopped and whatnot. I just mentioned 1 or 2. I of course asked him back, and he said, well, I think Janice is a definite 10. So my heart sinks, because Janice was also in our class. I never knew her that well, a couple of conversations over the years, but she was never that involved in after-class activities or anything. And, as it happens, I had previously picked up on the fact that he seemed annoyed about the fact that she never joined the social stuff. As I aspire to approach situations as drama-less and logical as possible, I just say that I agree that she is good-looking. The thought nagged at me for a long while, but I decided to try and ignore it as best as possible while knowing that we just had a few months left until summer and everyone had their degree. In the fall, I started my awesome job. There were 2 positions available when I applied, and guess who got the other one? Yes, you are correct, it was Janice. So now, we are colleagues and I see her every damn day. She's nice and we get along well. But the fact that I have to see her every day ends up in me comparing us, and I am so annoyed with myself for it. And like 2 to 4 times a month, I'm in bed, and the comment pops into my head and my heart sinks. A few months ago, after a lot of drinks and our first real discussion about something unrelated, but sort of tangent, I brought it up. Keep in mind, things were a bit heated due to the other discussion. I said something along the lines of, I know this might be stupid to bring up, as there isn't really anything you can do about it, but it's been bothering me. And after I explained, he looked me in the eye, said, well, I can't do anything about that, I think Janice is the perfect 10. So, let's just say that didn't help. Now, I've obviously thought about this a lot, and I think one of the main reasons this is bothering me so much is that I've never been one to focus too much on looks. I do my makeup in like 5 minutes and just put on clothes without much thought. It's honestly something I've always prided myself on, considering the people I hung around with while growing up cared a lot. James, however, cares about looks. This is also the first relationship I'm in where I'm honestly afraid that I have more feelings than the other person. This fear was exacerbated by the fact that I had to push for us to become official, as he said it wasn't really that important to be official, and because it was a very short time after his relationship with his ex ended. So, kind people of the internet, please give me some advice on how to forget this or handle it better than I'm doing now. What would you do? Edit. Just to make this clear, I agree the rating system is immature. A lot of people are saying I should dump him over this, and I just want to make it clear that you are now hearing about the worst thing that has happened during our relationship, which I honestly think is a good indication that we really do have a great relationship. While I agree it was a thoughtless thing for him to say, at this point, this is really my problem. I've gotten some good advice and observations in the comments. Thank you. Edit 2. I'm seeing a lot of comments about the timing of when I brought the issue up, so I should probably explain why I felt it was relevant to our conversation at the time. When I said he cares about looks, it's mostly due to his passion for clothes. While it's not one of my own interests, I've actually learned a great deal about it during our time together and respect the fact that he cares. We were meeting a couple who were friends of his, and it was my first time meeting them. He told me as I was coming out of the shower that I should mind what I was putting on and to remember that they, too, care about fashion, which he knows I do not. This honestly pissed me off and made me feel less than, so I brought it up when we got home. Update. I love updates, so I figured I should give one for this post, 5 years on. It's a bit hard to remember details after 5 years, but we had a big blowout sometime after I posted this. I snapped at one point after he pushed the issue when I had told him I didn't want to talk about it, and ended up telling him how mean that was, aka the later comment, well, I can't do anything about that, I think Janice is the perfect 10, and how insecure it made me. He realized that the comment was unnecessary and apologized. However, I got into a funk for a couple of days after the confrontation, partly due to the comments on this post that were quite harsh. He got super worried when I was subdued after 3 or so days, and he apologized profusely and said he would work on his stubbornness, communication, and be better at complimenting me. In addition, he explained that the comment was partly due to the style of communication he and his ex had, where each of them just dug themselves deeper into their positions when they had any sort of disagreement. I'm happy to say that he did improve massively. He is still stubborn and can still quickly go on the offense in discussions we have, but we are now married, he proposed, have a 1.5-year-old boy, and we are happy. This remains one of our biggest arguments to date. Side note, I changed jobs, but so did Janice, and we ended up at the same firm, again. So we are still colleagues, but there are 1,000 plus people at our office, so I don't see her as much nowadays. I still catch myself interested in what she posts on social media, but that's about it. I rarely think about her or this situation. Relevant comments. Bruh, the whole 1 to 10 rating system is ridiculous. There is no objective 10. My friends think that my type is ugly as hell, and I think their types are as boring as a piece of white bread. But why the hell would you rate another woman, who is not your spouse, higher than your actual spouse unless you want to hurt them? I have no idea. Like, if I like someone, they would be the most beautiful person in the world for me, even if objectively they look like Quasimodo. To all the people that say that truth matters, it's only your truth. If you genuinely think that whatever celebrity is hotter than your partner, well, I think that they are not hotter than mine. Yes, really. Like, I can't comprehend feeling that the person you love is not the hottest thing in the entire world. Even if they are old, sick, or disfigured.